You think they are applauding? You are wrong. They are not clapping. They are sharpening their intentions. There is a critical error in your operating system, a glitch that civilization has programmed into you since birth. You believe that success is meant to be seen. You believe that if you win, you should show the trophy. You believe that visibility equals power. This is the lie that will bury you. In the real world, the one governed by shadow, strategy, and human nature, showing off is not a display of strength. It is a confession of weakness. It is a signal that screams to every opportunist, every observer, and every rival. Here is what I value. Here is where I am vulnerable. Come and take it. I am going to show you why silence is the only true luxury left. I am going to deconstruct the mechanics of your own ego and show you why the most formidable people in modern power move in the dark. By the end of this video, you will understand why the person who flaunts their power is already halfway to losing it. But you have to listen, because the noise of your own ego is loud and we are here to silence it. Phase 1, the mechanics of the target. Let's strip away the morality. I am not here to tell you that bragging is bad or impolite. I don't care about politeness. I care about survival, and strategically showing off is self-sabotage. Robert Greene shows again and again that power must protect itself from envy, resentment, and the hostility of those who feel diminished by your rise. You can be admired, yes, but hostility is the engine of rebellion, and nothing generates hostility faster than the reckless display of fortune in the face of those who lack it. When you show off your money, your relationship, your promotion, your intellect, you think you are generating admiration? You think you are inspiring people? You are not. You are casting a shadow, and that shadow falls on the people around you. It highlights their inadequacies. It reminds them of their failures. It triggers a primal biological alarm system in their brain that says, "He has resources that I do not. He is a threat." You are creating enemies out of neutrals. Think of the sniper. What is the sniper's first rule? Concealment. The moment the sniper reveals his position, even if he is the most effective force on the battlefield, he is exposed. He becomes a target for response. When you post that photo of your watch, when you talk loudly about your quarterly earnings, when you subtly drop names to show how connected you are firing a flare gun into the night sky. You are illuminating your position. You are saying, "I am here. I have something worth taking, and the world is full of takers." There is a concept in physics called the observer effect. The act of observing a system changes the system. In psychology, this is amplified. When people observe your success, they do not just watch it, they interfere with it. They start to undermine, not always openly. The human animal is too cunning for open confrontation. They undermine through delay, through forgetting to pass on a message, through subtle slander, through the passive withdrawal of support. The friend who suddenly becomes too busy to help you move. The colleague who accidentally leaves you off the email chain. The partner who starts picking fights about nothing, right? After you get a big win. This is the tax of visibility. You bought the applause with the currency of your safety. Was it worth it? Veblen called it conspicuous consumption. He thought it was about status. But if you look deeper into the dark psychology of the tribe, it is about survival. In ancient tribes, if you hoarded more meat than you could eat and flaunted it while others starved, you didn't become the chief. You became the focus. We have not evolved. We just wear suits. The instinct to level the playing field, to tear down the tall poppy, is encoded in our DNA. So ask yourself, why are you painting a target on your back? Do you crave the dopamine of a like so much that you are willing to risk the stability of your real life? Silence is camouflage. In a world where everyone is screaming, "Look at me," the person who stays in the shadows is invisible. And because they are invisible, they are safer. They can maneuver. They can reposition. They can act. And no one sees them coming until it is too late. Phase 2, the intelligence leak, the blueprint of exposure. Now we go deeper. This is not just about envy. Envy is emotional. This is tactical. Information is leverage. Every time you open your mouth to brag, you are leaking intelligence. You are handing your rivals the blueprints to your psychological structure. Let's analyze this coldly. When you show off something, you are not just showing an object or an achievement. You are revealing a value. You are telling the world, this is what matters to me. This is where I derive my worth. If you brag about your money, you are telling me that your security is tied to your bank balance. If I want to pressure you, I don't target your family. I pressure your finances. I pressure your reputation. I threaten a lawsuit. I know exactly where you will feel it the most. If you brag about your intellect, if you are always the one correcting people, always the smartest person in the room, you are telling me that your ego is tied to being right. If I want to break your composure, I don't need to outsmart you. I just need to embarrass you publicly. I need to frame you as incompetent. You will collapse because I struck the pillar that holds up your self-esteem. Do you see? You are giving me the codes to your downfall. Robert Greene repeatedly emphasizes the strategic value of concealment, of never fully revealing your intentions or emotional architecture. Why? Because if I know what you love, I can use it against you. If I know what you fear, I can weaponize it. When you are constantly broadcasting your life, you are stripping yourself of armor. You are exposed in a room full of people wearing armor. There is a reason the most powerful people in the world, the truly powerful, not the influencers renting Lamborghinis, are often the quietest. They are ghosts. You don't know where they live. You don't know who they are dating. You don't know what their next move is. They operate in a vacuum of information. And because you know nothing about them, you cannot manipulate them. You cannot predict them. You cannot trap them. But you are easy. You posted your location. You posted your plans. You posted your complaints. You posted your wins. I can build a psychological profile of you in 10 minutes just by scrolling through your feed. I know you seek validation from authority figures. I know you are insecure about your background. I know you have a temper when your intelligence is questioned. I understand your pattern, and I haven't even said a word to you yet. This is the danger of the open book philosophy. Society tells you to be authentic, to share your truth, to be vulnerable. Society wants you weak. Authenticity is not the same as overexposure. You can be real without being reckless. You can be honest without being defenseless. The outlier understands the value of the fog. He keeps his cards against his chest, not because he is hiding a crime, but because he is hiding his power. When you conceal your intentions, you create a state of suspense. People become uneasy. They have to guess. And when people have to guess, they often guess that you are more powerful than you actually are. Silence amplifies competence. If you say nothing, people assume you are thinking something profound. If you say everything, you remove all doubt that you are a fool. Stop leaking. Stop handing out the map to your own fortress. Burn the map. Memorize the terrain and let them wander in the dark while you watch from the high ground. Phase 3, the paradox of signaling. The imposter's scream. Let's talk about the signal. In biology, there is a principle called handicap principle. A peacock grows a massive, colorful tail. It is heavy. It makes him slow. It makes him easy to catch by predators. Why does he do it? To signal to the female, I am so strong I can survive even with this massive handicap. It is a biological flex, but humans have distorted this. In the human hierarchy, the signal has inverted. We have reached a point in culture where the louder the signal, the weaker the reality. The dog that bites does not bark. The bark is a warning. The bark is fear. The bark is saying, please don't come closer. I'm afraid I might have to confront you. The bite is silent. The outcome just happens. When you are constantly showing off how hard you are, how grinding you are, how alpha you are barking. You are signaling a deep, rotting insecurity. You are trying to convince yourself, not us. Truly wealthy people, old money, generational power, do not wear brand names covered in logos. They wear unbranded cashmere. They drive nondescript cars. They do not talk about money. Why? Because money is like oxygen to them. It is just there. You don't walk around talking about how much air you are breathing unless you are suffocating. If you are talking about it, you are suffocating. You are signaling scarcity. When you brag about how many women you can get, you are signaling that attention is rare and valuable to you. You are putting it on a pedestal. You are revealing that you are not the prize. When you brag about how busy you are, You are signaling that you have no control over your time. You are a slave to your schedule. You are not a master. You are a worker bee buzzing loudly to show the queen you are useful. The outlier sees through this instantly. When I see someone trying too hard to impress me, I do not see power. I see a child asking for a pat on the head. I see a vacuum of self-worth that is trying to be filled with attention, and that makes them repulsive. Robert Greene speaks of the law of seduction. Seduction requires mystery. It requires a pull. When you push your accolades in someone's face, you are repelling them. You are trying to force a transaction. I show you a cool thing. You give me respect. Respect cannot be bought. It can only be commanded, and it is commanded by what you do, not what you say you did. There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are capable of decisive action, but choosing restraint. From knowing you could buy the room, but choosing to sit in the corner. From knowing you have the answer, but letting others speak first. That is the energy of the king. The jester is the one jumping up and down, waving his bells, desperate for the king to look at him. Which one are you? Are you the king, secure in your silence, or are you the jester dancing for crumbs of validation? Every time you post that story, every time you humble brag, every time you fish for a compliment, you are putting on the bells. You are dancing and the world is laughing, not with you, at you, because they see the desperation, they smell it. It smells like sweat and cheap cologne. It smells like fear. You must remove the part of you that needs to be seen. It is a parasite. It eats your potential and excretes mediocrity. You must become comfortable with being underestimated. In fact, you should invite it. Let them think you are average. Let them think you are broke. Let them think you are slow. Sun Tzu said, "All warfare is based on deception." Hence, when able to act, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. If they think you are unable, they will lower their guard. They will get sloppy. They will reveal their own weaknesses because they do not see you as a threat. And that is when you win, not with a shout, but with a whisper. Phase 4, the economics of mystery, scarcity, value. Let's move to economics. Basic supply and demand. The more there is of something, the less it is worth. Oxygen is essential for life, but it is free because it is everywhere. Diamonds are functionally limited, but they are expensive because they are rare. Your presence, your thoughts, your achievements, these are commodities. When you flood the market with your thoughts, when you post every waking moment, when you tell everyone everything, you are inflating the currency of you. You are making yourself common. You are becoming copper. You are always available, always visible, always open. And common things are treated with indifference. Common things are stepped on. But Robert Greene understands the power of scarcity. If you want to increase your value, you must reduce your supply. You must withdraw. Think about the artist who releases an album every year versus the one who disappears for 5 years. When the one who disappeared finally speaks, the world stops. Why? Because we are starved for it. We value it because we had to wait for it. We value it because we don't know when it will happen again. When you show off, you are giving away your value for free. You are flooding the market. You are begging people to consume you. Stop. Create a famine. Starve them of your presence. Starve them of your information. When you finally do reveal something, a project you've been working on for years, a skill you've mastered in the dark, it hits with the force of a revelation. It has weight. People respect weight. Imagine you are in a meeting. One person talks for 20 minutes, listing all their ideas, interrupting, trying to prove they are smart. Another person sits back, listens, watches, and then at the very end speaks 3 sentences that solve the problem. Who holds the power? The second person. Because they held their cards, they let the inflation of words destroy the first person's value. They waited until the market was desperate for clarity and then provided it. They used the scarcity of their voice to command the room. You must apply this to your life. Stop telling people what you are going to do. The energy you spend talking about the plan is energy stolen from the execution of the plan. There is a psychological phenomenon called social reality. When you tell someone your goal and they say good for you, your brain releases dopamine. It feels the satisfaction of the achievement before you have actually achieved it. You tricked your brain. You got the reward without the work. And because you already got the reward, your drive to do the actual work dies. You talked your dream to death. Silence preserves the tension. Silence keeps the pressure cooker sealed. That pressure is what drives the engine. If you open the valve to whistle and show off steam, the engine stops. Keep the valve shut. Let the pressure build. Let it become intense. Let it drive you forward with a force that terrifies you. Do not trade your potential for a cheap hit of dopamine from a stranger. Do not trade a diamond for a penny. Be rare, be scarce. Be the gold coin in a pile of copper. Phase 5, the master and the slave, the validation trap. We have to confront the darkest truth of all, the hierarchy. When you show off, you think you are asserting dominance. You think you are the master, but look closer at the dynamic. Who is performing? You. Who is judging? Them. The performer is the subordinate. The judge is the superior. When you brag, you are submitting an application. You are saying, please look at this. Please tell me it is good. Please tell me I am good. You are handing them the gavel. You are placing yourself on trial. This is the ultimate reversal of the laws of power. Law 1 says never outshine the master. But in this scenario, by trying to outshine everyone, you make everyone your master. You make the collective opinion of the mob your god. You become a slave to their reaction. If they applaud, you feel high. If they ignore you, you crash. If they criticize you, you spiral. Your emotional state is no longer under your control. It is outsourced to the whims of people you don't even respect. Is that power? Is that the alpha mindset? No, that is servitude. The true master does not need the validation of the crowd. The lion does not turn to the sheep and ask, "Did I perform well today?" The lion eats. The lion sleeps. The opinion of the sheep is irrelevant to the existence of the lion. To be truly mentally untouchable, you must break this chain. You must dismiss the audience. You must reach a point of internal solidity where your own assessment of your actions is the only one that registers. I did this well. I did this poorly. That is it. The moment you look sideways to check if anyone saw you do it, you have lost. You have reintroduced the weakness. You have invited the parasite back in. This is why Robert Greene warns against building your identity on the unstable emotions of the crowd. The crowd that cheers for you today can turn against you tomorrow. Do not build your house on the sand of their praise. Build it on the rock of your own discipline. When you stop showing off, you reclaim your sovereignty. You take back the strings. You stop dancing, and when you stop dancing, people stop looking at you as entertainment. They start looking at you as an entity, a force. They may not like you. They may not understand you, but they will respect you because they realize you do not need them. And in a world of needy, desperate, loud people, the person who needs nothing is the one who owns everything. Phase 6, the law of the gray man, strategic mediocrity. We are not done. We have diagnosed the sickness. Now we must engineer the cure. In the world of intelligence, CIA, MI6, Mossad, there is a concept known as the gray man. The gray man is the most effective operative in the field. Not because he is the strongest, not because he has the biggest tool set, but because you do not remember him. He enters the room, extracts the information, and leaves. If you ask the people in that room to describe him, they would struggle. Average height, brown hair, nothing special. He is a ghost in the machine. You must apply the law of the gray man to your life. This is the art of strategic mediocrity. When you show off, you are painting yourself in neon. You are making yourself a person of interest. You are inviting audit. You are inviting scrutiny. You are inviting challenge. The gray man paints himself in beige. He drives a reliable, boring car. He wears clothes that do not scream, "Look at me." He speaks about mundane topics, weather, sports, traffic. But underneath the beige, he is building an empire. His bank account is compounding in silence. His mind is sharpening in silence. His network is expanding in silence. Why does he do this? Because he knows that obscurity is security. When you appear average, people lower their defenses around you. They speak freely. They reveal their secrets. They do not see you as a threat, so they do not try to block you. Imagine you are in a negotiation. If you walk in wearing a $50,000 watch and a custom suit, the other side immediately thinks he has money. I need to charge him more. I need to be careful. But if you walk in looking like a tired mid-level manager, they relax. They think they have the upper hand. They might even feel sorry for you. And that is when you make your move. You use their underestimation as a weapon. You secure the best deal because they never saw the shark swimming in the water. They only saw the driftwood. Stop trying to look like a boss. The real boss looks ordinary until he signs the check. There is a profound freedom in being underestimated. It is a cloak of invisibility. It allows you to move through social circles, business deals, and hierarchies without triggering the immune system of the group. The immune system attacks foreign bodies. It attacks things that stand out. Do not stand out, fit in. Be the background noise. Be the static. And while they are distracted by the loud, colorful peacocks dancing in the center of the room, you walk out the back door with the prize. Phase 7, the reverse brag, strategic humility. Robert Greene teaches that appearing weaker than you are can be strategically useful until the right moment arrives. This brings us to the reverse braggart. Most people brag to inflate their status. The reverse braggart deflates his status to hide his power. This is the ultimate manipulation. When someone asks you how business is going and you say, "It's booming, we just hit 1 million." You have triggered envy. You have triggered a loan request. You have triggered a competitor. But what if you said, "It's a grind. The market is tough right now. We're just trying to keep the lights on"? What happens? Sympathy. They feel bad for you. They might even offer to help. Safety. They no longer view you as a threat. Information. Because they think you are struggling, they might share their own struggles, giving you valuable intel on their weaknesses. You have gained 3 tactical advantages by simply hiding your win. This is not lying. This is information control. You are under no obligation to provide a full and accurate financial report to your neighbor, your cousin, or your Instagram followers. Sun Tzu said, "Appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak." If you are strong and you appear strong, you are just a target. If you are strong and you appear weak, you are a trap. Be the trap. Let them lecture you. Let them give you advice. Let them think they are smarter than you. Nod, smile, take notes. Feed their ego, starve your own. And then when the time comes to execute, when the promotion is on the line, when the deal is closing, when the confrontation happens, you make your move. The shock of your competence will paralyze them. They will not be able to process it. But I thought he was struggling. I thought he didn't know what he was doing. The cognitive dissonance will break their OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. They will freeze. And while they are frozen trying to reconcile the loser, they thought you were with the winner. You just revealed yourself to be. You have already won. Use humility as a mask, not because you are humble, but because you are strategic. Phase 8, the physics of hate, the evil eye. We must touch on something darker now, something that borders on the spiritual, though it is deeply rooted in psychology. Every culture in history has a name for it. The Greeks called it Bascania, the Romans invidia. In the East, Nazar, the evil eye, the belief that a gaze of envy can physically affect you. You might be a person of science. You might think this is superstition, but analyze it through the lens of energy and psychology. When thousands of people direct negative energy, jealousy, and "I hope he fails" thoughts toward you, does it have zero effect? Even if you don't believe in metaphysics, believe in the subconscious. When you know you are being watched by hateful eyes, you change. You become paranoid. You become stiff. You start second-guessing yourself. You feel the weight of the expectation. This is the physics of hate. Envy is a heavy isotope. It radiates toxicity. When you show off, you are inviting this radiation into your life. You are opening the door and saying, "Please come in. Please judge me." Why would you do that? Why would you want to swim in a pool filled with sharks? There is a reason why lottery winners often go bankrupt, get divorced, or suffer tragic collapses within years of winning. It is not just bad money management. It is the crushing weight of the envy of everyone they know. The friends who sue them, the family who guilt them, the strangers who target them. They showed the trophy and the tribe turned against them. To protect your peace, you must protect your privacy. You must build a firewall against the evil eye. Keep your wins in the circle of trust. And that circle should be small, tiny. If you buy a house, tell your parents, maybe your partner, do not post the address. Do not post the key. If you get a raise, put it in the bank. Do not buy a bottle at the club. Every time you share a win with someone who does not genuinely love you, you are converting that win into a loss. You are converting an asset into a liability. You are turning a blessing into a burden. Stop burdening yourself. There is a peace that comes from secret happiness. The Japanese have a concept for this, the beauty of the hidden. A flower that blooms in the forest where no one sees it is still beautiful. In fact, it is more beautiful because it exists for itself, not for an audience. Your life should be that flower. Let the happiness exist for you. Let the success be yours. The moment you share it with the envy-ridden masses, you dilute it, you taint it. You make it dirty. Keep it clean. Keep it hidden. Keep it safe. Phase 9. The void of power, the God mode. So what is the end game? If you stop showing off, if you stop seeking validation, if you become the gray man, if you embrace the silence, what do you get? You get the ultimate prize. The prize that money cannot buy, sovereignty. You become the sole ruler of your internal world. When you no longer need the world to witness your power, you effectively become a god in your own universe. You are self-sustaining. You are self-validating. This is God mode. In video games, God mode means you cannot be harmed. You walk through walls, you fly. The rules do not apply to you. In life, God mode is when the opinions of others no longer penetrate your skin. You walk through the walls of social pressure. You fly above the noise of status games. The rules of the rat race do not apply to you because you are not running in it. You are watching it. You see the rats running. You see them competing with each other for a piece of cheese. You see them exhausting themselves to buy things they don't need to impress, people they don't even like, and you just breathe. You are free. This is what Robert Greene points toward. Not just external power, but psychological fortitude, the ability to stand alone. A wise strategist relies on what is within their control, not what belongs to others. Your Instagram likes are in the control of others. Your reputation is partly in the control of others. Your status symbols are in the control of the market, but your silence, that is yours. Your discipline, that is yours. Your hidden wins, those are yours. When you reclaim these things, you reclaim your life. You stop being a character in someone else's movie, the successful friend, the rich one, the smart one. You become the director of your own movie, and the director sits behind the camera. He is not in the shot. He is in the dark, but he controls everything. Be the director. Stop fighting for screen time. Let the actors dance. Let the clowns perform. Let the peacocks scream. You just say action and you say cut. I want you to try something. The next time you have a massive win, the next time you feel that surge of I have to tell someone, don't. Resist that urge. Suppress it. Hold it. Take that energy, that excitement, and hold it inside your chest. Feel it burn. It will feel uncomfortable. It will feel like you are going to explode. Good. That is the feeling of your power growing. That is the feeling of your battery charging. Do not discharge it. Go to sleep with that secret. Wake up with that secret. Walk through your day knowing you have a nuclear reactor in your chest that no one knows about. Watch how it changes your walk. Watch how it changes your eye contact. People will look at you and wonder, what does he know? Why is he smiling like that?